Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, well, guess what? It's my first time too. This is my first official video and I can't stop smiling. Yeah, I'm so happy I'm finally doing this. So today we'll be talking about 9 things you need to do before coming to Germany as a student. First thing is the language requirement. So this cannot even be emphasized enough because language is key when coming to Germany. Language, you need the language to survive basically. So actually, when you want to apply for a program, whether it's a bachelor's or a master's program, the truth is most programs are going to require you to know a level of German, but there is an advantage with master programs, given that there are so many master programs in Germany that require you to know just English. Learning the language does not only apply to you getting an admission, it applies to your daily life here. You will be lucky if you come to a town like, for example, I live in Bonn, and Bonn is a little bit international because of maybe the university, and because of that there are a lot of people that speak English. If you go also to a town like Berlin or Hamburg, but if you're going to maybe smaller towns, you will have to know German. My tip for you here will be to learn the language before coming. The second thing for you to know is that actually here in Germany, fees are really cheap. So it's an advantage that Germany has and few other European countries. The universities here are cheap and you pay close to nothing. It doesn't matter if you're a national or you're a foreigner. For example, I'm at the Hochschule Bonn-Rhein-Sieg and I pay 300 euros a semester. That's a steal. You have advantages with the 300 euros. It's not just like, oh, I'm paying 300 euros for nothing. It's a semester contribution and basically your transportation fee. I wanted to also talk about this. Getting an admission, it might be challenging sometimes to get an admission in the desired program you want because maybe, for example, you're not, I don't know, qualified enough, or when you're applying from out of Germany, it might be more challenging. So one thing that will be helpful for you to know is that maybe you can compromise. So what you do basically is you can apply for a program where the entry requirements are a bit less stringent, and then when you come here you can switch to the program you really want, but you must still meet the requirements obviously. But if you're not getting the desired thing you want at the moment you're applying from your country, you can just look for maybe programs that have very easy entry requirements, and then you come here and then you switch. So basically I would do a video maybe highlighting some of these programs and the universities where you can find maybe good programs that are still having good career prospects, but the requirements are not so strict. So the fourth thing, I know I said coming here is cheap and studying here is cheap, but okay, I kind of lied. No, I did not lie, but it's cheap when it comes to the fees and all of that. But it's important for you to know that you also still need money. Catching. So you would need a lot of money to move here to Germany as a student. It doesn't matter the country you're coming from. Germany has it's a basic set of requirements. So they need to be sure that you can take care of yourself for the whole time that you are going to be studying here. So they need to be totally sure that you're not going to depend on the government, you're not going to ask for aid and all of that. You have to prove by either showing a blocked account or having an affidavit of support, or if you have a scholarship, then you luckily moved here in 2019. And in 2019 I had to block close to 9,000 euros. But of recent, just in 2020, this amount was increased by almost 2,000 euros. Yeah. So right now, if you have to come here, you must block an amount of 10,500 euros. Yeah, that's so much money, right? So because they just want to be sure that when you come here, you can fund your education, because in as much as you're allowed to work for a very limited number of hours a week and number of days in a year. So I'll talk more about that. So you should have that money or have an affidavit of support. Basically, an affidavit of support is just a document that someone makes here in the EU or in Germany in particular, saying that they can take care of you for the duration of your studies. So if maybe in the future you're like, oh, I have no money to survive, and you try to apply to the German government for aid, they'll be like, oh, but no, this person said they will take care of you, so they had better take care of you. Okay, yeah, so that's what it literally means. I want to move straight to the fifth thing. Accommodation. Accommodation is, what can I say, difficult, for lack of better terms. So getting accommodation in Germany, you should know before coming that it's really challenging. So like, my thing is, if you do not know, just know now that while you're applying to get an admission in a school, that's when you're not even sure that you're going to get an admission in a school, you should be applying for accommodation at the same time. That's literally what you have to do. So like, it's difficult everywhere, but it's just more difficult in some places, you know. I feel like I'm threatening somebody. But yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, accommodation is really difficult to get. So my tip for you will be to start applying. Like, if you just know you're going to be probably applying to a university in this town, you start applying to the Studentenweg of the town. Maybe you have to share accommodation, or you share a flat, or share a house with a bunch of people that you don't know. So why am I saying this? It's because for people from different parts of the world, like from America, for example, from Canada, this is very normal, like to go to the university and you share your room, literally, not just even the flat, your room with another person that you don't know. It's so normal. But coming from Cameroon, it was not normal for me. Like, everybody got their rooms, like we don't share our rooms. So here they have what they call the Wohnungsgemeinschaft. So which means shared flats. And basically you have to share your flat with maybe 7 people or 8. I even saw some of 10. So like, it just depends where you apply. And yeah, even the university owned houses have Vegas. For me, it was strange. I was not used to it, but I was aware, luckily, that could happen. And it came in handy because my first house that was registered to my name, because I first of all had the house also. Long story. So my first house that was registered to my name was a Vegas. So with 6 other people, so we're 7 in total. So the sixth thing you will need to know is that you will probably have to work while you study here. So it's important to keep that in mind, especially for my African people. Yeah, we are used to like finishing school and then working, not working while studying, at least for the most of us. So it's important for you to know that for you to survive here, you will have to work while studying. So, and getting a job is not as easy as you think, because there's first of all the language barrier. So the type of job you get is it depends. If you can speak the language, you're going to be lucky to get maybe student assistant jobs. to get jobs, maybe like student working jobs, like in offices and the like. But if you're not very versed with the language, you have to go for easier jobs where you don't need to speak the language. Things like cleaning jobs, I did. Warehousing or working the warehouses, I did. Working maybe in restaurants, but it doesn't matter if you have a blocked account or you have this affidavit of support from somebody, because it's important for you to be preparing for your next year. The next year when you go to renew, or the next 2 years when you go to renew your resident permit, obviously you will need some more money, because each time you renew your permit you need some more money. So you need to start working now to save for the future. The seventh thing I want to talk about here is the advantages you have as a student living here. So actually, as a student, the truth is that you have so many advantages living here. Like it ranges from health, transportation, accommodation, even social activities. We have discounts with so many things. So it's actually nice being a student. I know my sister always said, live your best life now as a student, because when you're done, there's like bills. I mean, not like you don't have bills as a student, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of things are discounted for us, for example. The eighth thing I would like to tell you, which is more of a sad thing, is that it's going to be mentally challenging. So it's important to keep in mind that coming to study here as a foreign student and juggling work and juggling school and juggling the language and trying to cope with loneliness and depression and everything, it's really difficult. It's going to take a mental toll on you. I did not say it might take a mental toll on you. It will take a mental toll on you. You are definitely going to feel it. So it's important that you remind yourself that it's just a phase, and you have to pass through this phase to get to where you have to get to. And it's important to try to make friends, which is not also very easy, but try to make friends, like from other countries, and that way it helps you cope, or they understand what you're going through, because they are also going through the same thing and all of that. So it's important for you to know that it's mentally challenging. About that, even though there's this sad part, there's also the happy side. So which brings me to my last point, the social life in Germany. So there's actually a very active social life here in Germany. It's actually very present, contrary to what you might be thinking about how maybe Germans are so serious and all of that. But there is an active social life, and for you as a student, keep in mind that there's the international office in all universities that are there to aid international or foreign students. So they always have these events where they organize like tours, or they organize like barbecues, or what's the thing when you go out to sit on the grass? Picnics. Yeah. So picnics, and they always have these like tours around the city, or visiting important landscapes, monuments, museums. Like there's a lot of activities organized by the international office, and it's important for you to keep in mind that pay attention to getting those emails, and please go for those activities, because they will help you. I know that you have to deal with a lot coming here, like there's a lot when you move, and sometimes it's like you don't want to be part of the social life, but trust me, you need to be trying to be. So virtually that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you guys, and bye. See you in my next video.